when you're messing with somebody for 3 weeks of their life, that's a lot of,
Yeah.
that's keeping somebody in the dark for a really long time.
What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Brienne Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. I hope everyone is about to have an amazing weekend, and hopefully you had a great week to go along with it.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday, or as some people say,
I don't know.
never mind.
What?
I was gonna be cheesy, but we're gonna push forward. Anyways,
Wait, now I want to know what you were gonna say.
I was gonna say Friday.
Oh, Friday. Oh,
I didn't want to actually.
yeah.
It was more just a little,
Yep.
I thought you were gonna get it.
No,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't think I've ever said Friday.
I don't think I have either. I don't know. I'm just in a funky mood. I'm in a good funky mood because I'm excited for the weekend. The weather has been beautiful.
Yep.
Ice cream truck outside of my apartment yesterday. Had to get it. Vanilla and chocolate swirl with sprinkles.
That sounds delish.
Delicious. Did anybody else get ice cream?
No ice cream. You know what I
On
tried?
a hot summer's day?
I tried because I've seen everybody under the sun posting about these, so I couldn't find them like too close to my apartment, so I bought them on Instacart, and probably for way too much money than I should have spent on these things, but I was like, I'm dying to try them. The True Fru things, have you seen people posting about those?
Fred, I've been eating True Fru for years.
I've never seen
I
them.
always have a bag of dark chocolate covered raspberry True Fru in my freezer.
See, I literally have
From Target.
I've never seen them before.
What? They're the best.
I mean, now
snack.
I've seen them because I feel like everybody is posting about them on Instagram.
I've been on the freaking wave. That's
I
why I
know.
haven't even said anything, because I'm like, these bitches are late.
Yeah, everybody's late, but now I feel like I see them like on TikTok, on Instagram, but people are going to sell them out. Just like my friend Lauren was complaining this week about how everybody's been on the fucking cottage cheese hype, because everyone's like, cottage cheese, high in protein, like blah, blah, blah. All the TikTokers are talking about cottage cheese. And she went to her grocery store, and the cottage cheese that she normally gets was completely out of stock.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. She's like, I've been eating this cottage cheese for years. And one TikToker says, oh, everybody get this cottage cheese. Now it's absolutely gone. And I feel like I've been seeing the True Fru. And I got influenced. I was like, I gotta try these things.
As you should. They're delicious.
They're fucking good.
Popped
They're
3
really
in my
good.
mouth before bed last night.
They're really good.
I have a problem with these where I'm popping them in, but just like as a nighttime snack.
That was
before I lay down.
that was my
That was your treat?
my little treat. Yeah,
And
it's really good.
I'll admit it. Did I go and buy cottage cheese? Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I did. And I had
Yep.
cottage cheese on toast, mixed with avocado, mixed with the chili crunch, mixed with Mike's hot honey.
Yeah. How was it?
Delicious.
Sounds great.
Just like a process to make in the morning, Like I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
making that every morning before I
No,
walk
no,
out
no.
the door, but it's an influence thing.
No,
Just
I know.
what happens.
I saw Kit Keenan made like a pasta with a sauce, but the sauce was made of cottage chease. I was like, wow, we're
bringing back cottage cheese.
Bringing back cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese just looks disgusting.
Yeah,
it
does,
tastes
it
good, but it
does.
just looks
It
fucking
does.
gross.
Yeah,
Anyways, Noah, you buy any cottage cheese or True Fru?
No, I got the kettle corn bags, the red bags.
Yeah.
They have one that I've never seen before where they have like chocolate drizzled all over all the.
Yes.
So I got that one last night. I pretty much ate the whole bag.
That one's so good.
Yeah.
I've never had that.
Nice little treats. Good snacks this week. Good weather.
Yeah.
Great vibes. Gonna be
Good
an
weather. I
amazing
sat
weekend.
on my roof for the first time, which was first roof sitting of the season.
Is it a
That's so
finished
lovely.
roof?
Yes.
A finished roof.
Yeah.
There's
That's
some,
beautiful.
There's some chairs up there,
Nice.
so you can sit out if you want.
That's very nice. Very
Yeah.
lovely.
Yes.
All right. Well, we have a ton to talk about this episode, so we're gonna get into it. But first, we have tickets on sale for
do.
Tampa and Minneapolis, which I have trouble saying sometimes.
Minneapolis?
I want to be honest, and I want to put that out there.
Minneapolis.
I have trouble saying Minneapolis sometimes because I think there's an extra thing in there.
Minneapolis.
Like I just think there's an extra thing in there sometimes. So it's gonna be a struggle for me on stage when I say,
What's
Give
up,
me-
Minneapolis?
yeah, giving you that Friday energy. What's up, Minneapolis? But those tickets are on sale noon Friday. So if you're listening to this and it's past noon, well, shit, you better get on it.
Yep.
And DC is all
Tampa.
sold out. So thank you. And Dallas, we have like 10 tickets
There's a
left.
few
Those might be
tickets left.
gone by then. But Tampa and Minneapolis, I am so excited. I was on the train this morning and it's gonna happen again. It is happening.
Oh no.
I like literally pictured us getting on stage, and I started crying. And now
now you're doing it again.
And now it's happening again. I just think it's really, really cool. That
the shows are so fun.
I just appreciate people coming to see us. Like we've done it a bunch of times now, but it still doesn't make sense to me that people are like paying to come see us at a show. Like, it's incredible. And I just pictured us walking up on stage to pump up the jam, and I started crying, and now it's happening again because I just love it so much. I love getting on stage. I love seeing the people who listen to our show, and we really just appreciate it. Like, I couldn't be more thankful that people actually buy tickets to come to the show.
I agree.
Because if they didn't, we wouldn't have a job. No. Then it would be a problem. We'd be broke. So anyways,
shows.
Thank you guys for buying the tickets.
Go back to school.
I don't want to go back to school at all. I really don't. So please keep buying tickets to our shows because I really don't want to go to school. Okay? FIT is literally across the street. Yeah. I could pop in, but I don't think they want me back. No. I had like a 1.8 when I was leaving because I never showed up. All right. Let's get into the rest of the show. We have all the topics. We're going to go over the bizarre interview between Howie Mandel, his daughter, and Sandoval. Pete Davidson is returning to host Saturday Night Live May 6th. Ariana Grande made a TikTok video defending herself and, speaking up against the people who have stuff to say about her and her body. And Lili Reinhart is dating Jack Martin, who went on Plan Brie and made fun of Cole Sprouse, who was Lili Reinhart's ex. And now Lili Reinhart and Jack Martin are dating. We also have our weekly watch report before the topics, one more thing at the end, and an amazing interview with James Marsden, which was hilarious. So let's get into it, starting off with the weekly watch report.
If you're looking for a fun group activity to do with your friends on the weekend, maybe like an afternoon activity, Top Golf is so much fun. I've been to the one in New Jersey. It's great. It's a good time. You can go with whoever you want, bunch of friends, great food. You can hang out. You can play games. It also does not matter what your level of golf. I am not a great golfer, but I can swing and I can definitely play Top Golf. So even if you don't golf, it doesn't matter. Everyone can play Top Golf, even if no one can golf. It's the only place you can play around and then order another or hit a slice and then grab a slice. It has all the fun of outside, but with the comforts of inside. So you have comfy heated bays in the winter and cool bays in the summer. So now the weather's getting a little bit warmer. You feel like you're outside, but you're not sweating because there's no AC or anything. It's like a cooled area. It's so nice. And it's a lot of fun, good group activity, like I said. So if you want to have a great time with your pals, or you can even go on a great date at Top Golf, check it out. It's golf. It's not golf. It's Top Golf. Download the app, book a bay, and come play around.
All right, let's get into the weekly watch report where we talk about the things we watched this week.
Cue the song.
Weekly watch report. Weekly watch report. Pow. Weekly watch report. Hey.
Pow.
It changes every week.
Yeah.
Weekly watch report. Boom. Weekly watch report. Pow.
Yeah.
Giving you all the things that we watched this week. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll start it off. I'm going to start it off easy, like things we don't need to talk about. I rewatched Matilda.
Okay.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
I love Matilda.
Matilda's great.
Great movie. I'll give it an A.
Okay.
Never seen.
You ever seen Matilda?
I don't even know what it's about.
What? You ever seen Matilda?
I know that Harry
Matilda?
Styles wrote the song,
Matilda is so fun.
Matilda, the song has
Matilda
nothing
with
to
Danny
do with
DeVito?
it.
What? I thought it was inspired by the movie.
Matilda's the name of his godchild, I think.
Oh, I thought he just wrote it.
No, Matilda's about a little girl who has like these powers, and her parents don't care about her.
Damn. What do you think it's got on Rotten Tomatoes?
95.
91.
It's a great movie.
Never even... I've heard of
Really?
Matilda.
You should watch Matilda. It's on Netflix. It's great. Great film.
No, his goddaughter's name is Ruby. Why am I...
Oh, it's Roald Dahl. Used to read all his books in elementary school.
You never read Matilda?
The BFG?
Oh my God, that scared me so much. I had nightmares
BFG?
because I was like, these giants are going to come for me.
I had the whole, the big book of that just had a lot of them in one. Now
Maybe I
I feel
did
like
read
maybe
it.
he
I
did
don't
write Matilda because of that.
I think he did. I think
He might have. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that song because I'm not familiar with Harry's house. Sore subject. I don't want to piss anybody off.
Centered around. Oh wait.
It says,
The song. Oh yeah. The song's main character is based off somebody he knows in real life, though he's wrapped her story and identity in the character Matilda, based off Roald Dahl's infamous novel.
Well, Matilda's a great movie, and I rewatched it this weekend, so I'm gonna get that out of the way.
Wow, really confused those two. Doesn't Ruby, the goddaughter, do? Oh, she does the.
I don't know.
Come on, Harry.
we want to say goodnight to you.
We want to say goodnight to you. Yeah, it's that. That's
wait,
her.
Oh, that's
That's his goddaughter.
Oh,
that's
I
what
had-
I'm.
I
That's
thought
what
it was
I'm
just a random
confusing.
kid.
Oh,
No,
I
that's
didn't
what
know
I'm
that.
confusing. Sorry, that was a total
that's
side
fine.
tangent to
Matilda.
Matilda.
Matilda's a great film.
and it's a great song by Harry Styles.
And great soundtrack in Matilda. Great movie.
great movie.
I also rewatched She's the Man, which is also an A,
Always plays.
which I think I have already had on my rewatch before at some point. It's just
Definitely.
one of those. Okay. Vanderpump Rules.
This latest episode.
This latest episode.
Yeah. Sheena's big wedding.
Yep. I'm gonna give it a B plus.
Okay. I haven't watched it yet. So
Just
I can't
it's
discuss
everything
with
we've
you.
already known, but you're just locked in. You're
Yeah.
analyzing everything. You can't believe that Ariana and Raquel are cuddling on the couch,
Right.
knowing now that we know they kissed even before Sheena's wedding.
Did you see the clip that everyone was freaking out that it looked like he slapped her
That
ass?
was last week's, or no, it might have been the beginning of this week's.
Yeah.
I started watching it at 9:23.
Oh,
I was
a little late.
I was a little late. My dad texted me and he said, "Are you watching Vanderpump?"
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
said no, and he said, "Well, you better put it
better
on."
put it on.
And so I did.
Better change the channel, honey.
Yeah, he was like, "Get to it, sweetheart. You got a job to do."
I did watch Lala and watch What Happens Live. I didn't watch the Vanderpump episode, but I watched Lala.
Need to say that Lala is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, she is.
Beautiful. Watching this episode last night, incredible.
Yeah.
She looked unbelievable at Sheena's wedding. Like whatever she's doing, it's working for her.
She
looks stunning.
And I just sometimes love how she just like hypes things up. Like she was talking about, she was like, there's a conversation between Ariana and Raquel like towards the end of the season or in the finale or something. She's like, it's sick.
It is.
Like
I saw some comments on that because there was a TikTok about that.
Yeah.
And I saw some comments, and this is far-fetched, but I'm just imagining, my thought when I saw that was like Raquel still thinking she could be best friends with Ariana, like, because, she's probably thinking like, it's okay, whatever. People were commenting that maybe Ariana, and this is like a far-fetched, I feel bad even repeating it, but I don't know, that Ariana was thinking of maybe freezing her eggs and Raquel was like encouraging her with Tom.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a conversation that happened, because that would be sick.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Vanderpump Rules gets a B plus. I mean, I gotta wait till these end episodes to give it an A. It was good. I don't know why Katie went to Mexico.
Yeah.
Why Katie went to Mexico even though she was not at the wedding or involved. Just stay home.
Yeah.
Schwartz is an idiot.
Yeah. It was a weird move.
Everything was weird. They're all weird. I watched Dave, the first 2 episodes. Didn't really love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a C. I'm gonna give it a C. I didn't love it. Will I continue watch it?
the
Possibly.
third episode I watched last night. I think you'll like more. There's a lot of cameos.
Okay. I mean,
I'm in that spot where like all these new shows that are coming back are shows that I watch with Joe, and I have to wait. So I watched other stuff
yeah,
and couldn't catch up on Dave yet. I'm excited
Yeah.
to watch though.
Will I keep up with it? Probably, just as something to watch. But
Yeah.
I really didn't love the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But I want to see where it goes. That gets a C for me. Beef, which was a Noah recommendation on Netflix. It also was 100% on Rotten
I was telling
Tomatoes.
everyone I knew to
Everyone's
watch
watching it. Yeah.
I watched 5 episodes.
I've watched 3.
I've really enjoyed it.
Same.
I'm going to give it an A minus because I really like it.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
like,
it's freaky.
I mean, you're halfway.
I'm halfway, so I'm gonna give it an A minus.
Yeah,
as of
exactly.
now.
It's hard to talk about when we don't. obviously know.
Yeah, but I have been.
And I feel like the last episode, the way the show is built, it feels like probably the last episodes are where things really get freaky. Ali Wong is so good.
She's so good.
So good.
Really, really
He's
good.
so good too.
I've only seen her.
They're both so good, but I really have only ever seen her like comedy.
Yeah, I haven't seen her
and
like
this is obviously there's funny parts of the show, but it's also like pretty fucking intense.
She's really good.
Really good.
The last episode I watched, I was like, damn, you go. She was great.
I've seen him in so much. He's so good. Walking Dead and Minari was such a good movie.
What I don't know what I've seen him in.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those. So.
Yeah.
Next up, I have Jury Duty. I watched the first 2 episodes of that with James Marsden, who's on our show today. Very funny, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was good stuff.
I would just also like to say in this moment, before we actually have the interview with James Marsden, attractive man.
You shut the door. I was like stunned by your reaction.
Man.
He walked out. There was no joke, 0.5 seconds in between him walking out the door, Fran slamming the door shut and almost fainting to the ground.
I've
never seen Fran that flustered.
I haven't either. I was taken aback.
Flustered of any.
I was taken aback by you being
had.
flustered by him.
I don't know. It was just, and you know what's funny? Someone DM'd me and was like, basically like, please tell me he's as attractive as I think he is. I was like, yes.
You went out of your way to respond.
Yes, I answered that one.
That was wild, right? She shut the door and almost dropped to the ground.
I'm telling you, I self-admitted.
Yeah.
I was like,
she was like, I was stumbling over my words during the interview.
I lost my train of thought a couple times. I kept myself pretty composed.
I was editing, like going back and editing some stuff, and Fran's just like gazing into
staring into his eyes, his blue eyes. You just get lost.
It's funny.
Anyway, he's really good in Jury Duty.
It is a good show. Jury Duty, I'm gonna give a B-. I think that's an appropriate score. I thought it was funny.
That's like a
original idea.
That's like that's like an 80.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
B-. Yeah.
80,
I thought it was a
80.
good idea. A little repetitive at times, obviously, but I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
I think it keeps getting funnier too. Yeah. I will say.
I'm gonna keep up with that too. Now I love having all these shows to keep up with. Now I was struggling for a little bit.
Yeah.
Love is Blind.
Yeah, we're in a tough spot here because we're obviously recording on Thursday and now Friday the wedding episodes are out. So if you're listening to this and you've already watched, you know what happens and we don't. So we were left at the cliffhanger of Chelsea and Kwame's wedding.
For the love of God, please don't get married, Chelsea and Kwame. Please.
Look, we could be in a spot where obviously we don't know what happened, but if I will be blown away, absolutely shocked to my core if Kwame says yes. Chelsea's saying yes. But if Kwame says yes, I will be blown away.
He's got to go. He might be my least favorite person that's been on Love is Blind. I have like...
Really? Of everybody?
Not everyone. I mean, Bartiz was a problem.
Yeah.
But like this season, like... He's just such a red flag.
Yeah,
he
is. He is for sure.
So I give those episodes a C because it's just gotten a little boring.
And all their conversations pre-wedding like made me so uncomfortable. It really felt like he just wanted her to find reasons to be like to break up or like not break up, but it was just like she's so adamant of it working and he's just like
it's bizarre. They're very bizarre. Did we talk about this last week or did this just happen where Jackie and Marshall, they're donezo?
No, this happened when we watched. They had the conversation and Jackie posted on Instagram that things were shown out of order because everyone was freaking out that she met up with Josh and like said she would like give Josh a chance before having that conversation with Marshall. She claims that the conversation with Marshall happened before the meetup with Josh. So obviously that's different, but the big moment too, I mean, incredibly uncomfortable breakup as well. And Marshall asked for the ring back. She said no.
I don't understand why she wouldn't give the ring back. Now, obviously, Love is Blind pays for the ring.
He didn't pay for the ring. I get that.
But why do you want the symbol? Because symbol.
She wants the fucking money. She's going straight to the fucking pawn shop with that thing.
It's just crazy to me. Like, why? Like, out of respect, okay, you don't think the relationship's going to last and you don't want to be together, just out of respect, not to be a shitty person, just say, I'm going to give this back respectfully. This isn't working. And don't be an asshole about it.
No,
just
I know.
give the ring back.
I know. I mean, it's more and more has come out that it really seems like she did this show for, obviously, I'm sure a lot of them do. It goes without saying, for some fame, business opportunities, things like that. She point blank said to Josh, like, I am not ready to make any commitment of marriage anytime soon is basically what she said. And so it's like, that's the whole premise of the show. You're going on a show where people straight up get married at the end of it. You think that's like the goal you want going into it. She was like, I'm nowhere near ready to even have that conversation. So it's like, okay, you clearly had no actual intention of getting married at the end of this anyway. But she's like, I'm going to keep the ring.
Just awful. She actually, I said Kwame's the worst. Jackie's
I think
probably
she might be the worst. Yeah.
I take it back. I think Jackie might be the worst. She's incredibly emotionally immature in every single way. Did you see the supposed leaked text?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, I have to pull these up. No idea if these are real, but they've been circulating around TikTok. Once again, no idea if these are real, but they have been circling on TikTok. And she...
Yeah, no, you can find him. I'll say like...
Well, I have
you have him? Okay.
Okay, she was in a group chat with her friends. And one of the friends, like... I guess released this because there's blue text. So she's gonna know who released these if these are real. They've been circulating a lot, so I have no idea. And she changed the name to the other person in the group chat to friend one, and then Jackie's name, so you can't see the name of the other person. But Jackie says, he gives me vibes, y'all, and I kind of hinted at that in my interview, and all hell broke loose. So I had to like switch it up. But he for show gives me, this is how it's written. So I really apologize. Yeah. I really apologize for how I'm about to speak. I am reading it as written.
Yeah.
Gives me vibes because he used to twerk on the bed, and I told him I was off that, and he was like, yeah. So now this time I told him to be more aggressive with me. He's hard faux show, but sometimes he can be sweet. Friend one goes, twerk on the bed, ? LMFAO. Jackie, good for you also for commuting how bad of a turn off that shit is. So then I guess the other friend's like asking about him twerking on the bed. And then Jackie goes, yes, he will twerk on the bed. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not going to fly, big homie. And then he'll talk like, yes. And I'm like, ? That's the damn truth. Then Jackie says, I don't want to hear y'all at my wedding yelling about how he got sugar in his tank either, please. We got to make it stretch for TV. Bye. And then this friend that's, I guess, released the text wrote, LMAO, no, got to make it to the altar, laughing faces. Then Jackie said, I can just hear blank say he's a teapot. And then this friend writes, LMAO, stop. I'm sorry. These are the most bizarre. If these are real, like, I don't know how they'd be fake, because they're written so weird. Yeah. And then it keeps going.
I mean, easy to fake text messages.
It is very easy. Trust me, it's very easy to fake text messages. Yeah. I just, like, how creative of this person, I guess. Like if you were making up these text messages, man, you're pretty creative. But so basically it was just her going back and forth. Like, that was really it. But like saying we got to make it stretch for TV. Make it to the altar, yeah. And then like her making fun of him a little bit. Yeah. So I have no idea how real those texts are or not, but they've been circulating. I have no idea. I really don't. Bizarre.
Yeah, tough. Very tough. The only and then Zach and Bliss make sense, I think, but Bliss's dad was kind of giving him a hard time, which fair. I could imagine any dad being like, well, what the hell is happening? I feel like I said, I don't really have any strong feelings about Zach and Bliss. I really don't. Either. And Brett and Tiffany, yes. His dad, so cute. Ugh.
I hope those two make it.
I do too.
I think they were trying to make us nervous. thinking they were going to say yes, but I think they'll be fine.
I know. I think so too. And who knows? I don't. Mike and Paul. I don't care.
Last thing I watched was Succession.
Yeah.
And that gets an A. And that was an incredible episode.
Absolute top-notch
and
episode.
Also incredibly sad.
Yeah.
Because, spoiler, if you haven't watched it.
Yeah. Be shocked if you made it this long.
We have lost our king.
Yeah.
Logan Roy. We've lost him. He's a goner. I have chills. Incredibly sad. Really sets up the rest of the season and sets up the show itself, Succession. That is now what is going to happen. And I want to be on record saying something. I don't know if you guys remember this a couple of years ago when Succession first started, and I was like, I have this weird feeling that Greg is going to like become in charge of things.
Yeah. Because
Nicholas Braun's name is shown right at the beginning, but it's really because it's alphabetical order.
Yeah.
If Greg becomes the successor of it all, just know that I'm saying it right now.
I'd be stunned.
I would be stunned.
I would be stunned as well, but he's the only one that doesn't really.
That would be like the end of Game of Thrones, and everyone would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I think right. I don't want to spoil for if people are watching Game of Thrones, but yes, people would be pissed. I think they'd be like, "This doesn't make any sense." Yeah. I'm just saying it. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, there's a lot. Look, there's a lot of options now. It was just an top-notch episode of TV. Like, it was just so well made, so well acted. I kind of had a feeling, and I think a lot of people did, that something was gonna, like, that Logan could probably die at some point. I think most people kind of thought, oh, it'll like happen at the end of the season, because it just felt like there was so much more to happen between him and the kids. So it's sad because, and I think the actors like felt this way too, that it was like there's so much more that they could have done, and like we'll miss him as a character so much, but it was a good representation of you can't really plan when death happens, you know? Like it's
right. It happened early on.
Yeah.
And it also
I felt like it was like a really good way to do that.
Yeah. The way it was shot was incredible. Their acting, all of them did a phenomenal job. It felt
they said
so
it was
real.
a 27-minute like one shot, like moving, like
they're all
that whole scene on the boat, like when they're all finding out, like when you really you felt like you were on that boat because it was just one continuous movement.
They're all so incredible, and you feel like you were there with them, and it feels like an accurate representation of like kind of what death feels like, where you don't want to believe it.
Yep.
And they're like,
well, I didn't believe it watching, and when that first call, I was like, oh, they're fucking with
Well, that was clever how they did it, where they didn't show you him.
Yeah,
like,
until the end, and then they were like, okay, he's really.
Because I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Or not a joke.
What was I going to say? I think that it obviously very sad because Logan is such an amazing character, and you're gonna miss his rants and him angry and just him being there overall. Yeah. But I think it does kind of set up great for the rest of the season, because now them in the show and us as viewers have kind of time to get over it. Because if this happened at the eighth episode or 9th episode, we're going to be like, man, he died. And then that's the taste we have left for Succession, where it's 3rd episode, he died. We have the rest of the season to now, that taste will leave our mouths a little bit. Yes, we're upset he died, but there's going to be so much more that happens. Yeah. And it won't be the final thing. Like, oh man, he died. Like right at the end, right at the end of Succession. And then you're like, what happens next? Right. And then it's the show's over.
No, totally. You see the dynamic completely play out.
Now we have time to see what life is like without Logan. Really just an incredible episode. And that's what makes a great TV show. Something unexpected like that. A character you don't want to let go of, but you kind of have to. Also good that it's the end of the show in general. So it doesn't make it, it's a loss, but it doesn't make it too much of a loss. Game of Thrones-esque, where you never know who's going to go. Like, there could be another death.
Do you watch the after the show stuff?
I saw some of it from this episode. Yeah. When he said dramaturgically.
Oh, yeah.
Dramaturgically. Yeah. I hate when people do that.
Just made sense dramaturgically.
I hate when people do that. Like, I know you're using it the correct way, but why you got to do us like that? Why you got to make us feel stupid?
And that's just Jeremy Strong. I think he's just that kind of guy, you know? Yeah, no, it was good. That's why I said that's where they talked about how it was like one continuous shot.
Really just great episode overall. So that gets an A for me.
Yeah.
And that's everything I watched.
I watched a lot of the same stuff. So we discussed, I will give Beef I watched 1 through 3, so I'm a little bit farther behind. I'll give it a B. It's good. I'm not like it's good, but I'll see where it takes me. As of right now, 1 through 3, like I'm intrigued and it's good. It's very well acted, but I'm also kind of a little freaked out at the same time. But that's the power of A24, that they just get you. Jury Duty, I watched 1 through 4. I will also give that. See, this is where the grading is hard. Because I would
can't talk about the grading. You just gotta grade
know,
it.
but I would.
Every week.
I would give Jury Duty a B also, but like Beef is 10 times the show. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're different.
Different genres.
They're different genres. They are. So I'll also give that a B. I watched Murder Mystery 2. I'll give that a C+. Enjoyed it. Fun. Kept my attention. Yeah.
See, that's crazy to me. That's more crazy to me when I hear it's only 2 off from Beef. Murder Mystery 2.
But you can't put them in the same genre because it's kind of like before. You said Matilda is a 90. What is it? 90 something on Rotten Tomatoes. Where like, I don't know, The Departed, which is a fantastic movie, probably also has a 90 something.
Yeah.
And you're like, The Departed is 10 times the movie Matilda is.
Yeah.
But that's how the grading works.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like The Departed. I don't know why that's the movie I chose.
I definitely had. I finished Next in Fashion. Fun season. I don't really have a grade for it, but I will say the hosting duo of Gigi and Tan France, great combo. They're very cute and funny together. I liked them hosting. They had good guest people. Hailey Bieber did it. She brought absolutely nothing. Like she was nice. It's just like I felt like she didn't really contribute too much.
Classic Hailey.
But it was,
she kind of just gives nothing.
Yeah. I like Bella was a guest judge, and I liked seeing Gigi and Bella together doing that. I watched all 3 of the first. It's the 3 parts of a new Netflix doc on the Boston Marathon bombing. America's Manhunt, something like that is what the title of it is. Very good. I mean, crazy. Like, you still see that footage and it like makes you freeze because it's so crazy that they just have all of it. And of course, that's how they put together, because there was all that digital footage. They could put together who these guys were. But I know there's been documentaries. I know that there's been, I think, movies.
You never watched the movie?
No, I never watched the movie.
It's pretty good.
I prefer, like, I don't know. Sometimes when you watch the movie, not like you watch a movie and you think everything you see in the movie is how it happens, but it's also a movie. So they do take some
who played the
creative liberties.
One of the bombers is a kid from the Naked Brothers band.
Yes. Nat Wolff.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen the movie, but this was very, very good. This was like, as far as documentary goes, I would give this like a B+. It was captivating. I watched all 3 I watched it all in one sitting, just kind of knocked it all out, but it was very, very interesting, and I felt like I learned stuff that I didn't know. Great interviews with the police, the FBI, like everybody. I thought it was very good.
To this day, I'm still like, it's crazy that they found them. When it was happening, I was like, they can't find these guys.
Yeah. No, it was, city. I mean, it's crazy. And like they went really through it all, like step by step. And it was really very good. I watched Succession is an A+. That was an A+ episode. Just phenomenal TV. And I kind of think
Louis Capaldi.
Oh, thank you.
I watched that after you said that.
Thank you. I knew, I was like, there was something else that was long that I watched. I can't remember what it was. Louis Capaldi documentary, I will give an A. I thought it was really good. I love him. I think he's great. He's obviously mega talented, but the documentary was so vulnerable. He really shared a lot, very open about his mental health and his family. Like, it really is crazy. You know, he was just like living at home with his parents.
It's always crazy, these documentaries. Like the same thing with Billie Eilish. That they started shooting them before they really blew up.
Yeah, and you're just like, it makes you think. You're like,
well, the Louis Capaldi one, they didn't.
It was they had. I guess they just had like footage.
They had footage because it was like.
But when he was like moving out of his parents' house, he was still like.
But his first album was out already.
I guess. Yeah.
Billie Eilish's was
weird. Crazy. I was like, this is wild.
Billie Eilish and the D'Amelios.
I don't know what the D'Amelio one.
There's not the documentary, but there's some videos that you're like. How like my parents took a lot of home videos of us as kids.
Yeah.
But like something about the D'Amelios, you're like, how did they have this kind of footage?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Simulation.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bizarre.
Lewis's, the whole premise really of Lewis's was like the height of his fame and the pressure after his first album did so well, and like having to make a second album and put that together, and all the stress and performing live and all these things, but very, very, very good. Emotional. I cried. I'm talking about his aunt. Ugh. He's hilarious. He is really very funny. And you see that like charm on social media and everything that he does. And then this was like a good insight into his life as well. Loved it. Really loved it.
Niall Horan, I'm starting to like really be a fan of. Like I don't even know his music, but like I would listen to the Foreplay interview and I was like, this guy seems cool. And then in this documentary, he like makes a brief appearance and I'm like, oh,
yeah, I gotta watch. He and Lewis are very good friends. I love Niall. Niall's number 2 on my One Direction list of people. Yes. And he's a judge on The Voice right now. He's doing a great job. He's very cute. Yeah, he's doing a good job. Because obviously I also watch The Voice. There's a ton of stuff that it's just like, you know, I don't need to bore people with the network television that I watch. That's where I'm at. Because I did Jury Duty and Beef for like the new things that I was watching this week. Yeah.
Okay. I watched The Big Door Prize episode 4. I'll give that a C+.
I don't know what that is.
I said it on the last couple, I think. It's with that Australian guy from This Is 40. You know that guy? It's on Apple TV.
No.
It was pretty good. It's kind of fallen off, so I'll give it a C+, episode 4, but it's still worth watching. I watched all of season. I watched the whole season. That just reminded
me I didn't watch the new Ted Lasso yet. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
I watched the whole season of Beef, pretty much in one sitting, like almost. I'll give that A+.
Wow, that's a lot to get through.
I watched 8 episodes.
It's very intense to watch in one sitting. Like I needed a break after the first 2. I was like, I gotta turn something else on. Yeah,
it's not like.
I didn't think it was that intense.
It's like a good mix of like funny and action. Like it's not scary to me.
Mm-hmm. No, it's definitely not scary, but it's short episodes. It just like weirded me. Like the not to spoil anything, but like the gun. Her grabbing the gun and like I was like, this is freaking me out. I need a break. Yeah, it's freaking me out.
No, I watched 8 and then I watched the last 2 the next day, but solid A+. I'm just like, this show is like everything I could ask for. Like there wasn't any like, I'm like, I just enjoyed it. Yeah. Quick episodes, I like that.
Not too short, but not too long.
Yeah.
30
35 minutes. Like
it's perfect.
Yeah. And just like the fact that all the episodes are out and I'm like, I'm just going to watch 10. It's not that much.
I know. It's hard to come by these days. You would think with streaming all the episodes, but now we're watching week to week.
Even like, I forget how long Swarm episodes were. I feel like they were longer.
No, they were short.
They were short?
Yeah.
That was very intense though. Like that was harder to watch. I couldn't watch that all in one sitting. Succession, I'll give that an A. Like just, solid episode. We talked about it. I watched Air.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I'm trying to see that.
I was trying to go to the movies this weekend, and just my movie buddy was just too busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that in the movie theater.
Aisle seat?
No. Well, aisle seat, yes, but on the other side. Like, so you know, there's a center.
Not the priority aisle?
I got the aisle seat on the other side.
Cheapo.
Which is nice. Yeah. Which is nice because then I don't have to sit really next to anyone because on the other side of the aisle, no one's going to be sitting there.
Yep.
I spilled all my popcorn again on the floor.
Clumsy.
God,
Yeah.
get it together.
Yeah, it was tough. It is tough, especially when you're alone, because then it's like, oh, like
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
You can't even blame
Yeah,
it on
no.
anybody.
Yeah.
You knocked into me.
It's like, ah.
It's like,
and
I
it was
did
like
that
quiet,
myself.
so
Yeah.
everyone heard it.
You can even joke about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't
To
turn to the
anybody.
person next to you and be like, oh, way to go.
Yeah.
I always
or,
just like
laugh.
slouch down.
Yeah.
But I'll give that an A-. Like, very good movie. Funnier than I thought it would be.
I heard it was really good. I really want to see
It's really good. And I mean, I knew like that Michael Jordan didn't really want to sign with Nike. Like, I didn't know like anything outside of that, the whole story and everything.
I'm very, that is on my list to go see in the
just
movie theaters.
So many good
I haven't
actors.
also been to the movie theater in like maybe 8 months. Like, I've not gone in so long. It's been a really long
I've
time.
talked to Kelly Keys about this because she lives in the same area where we go to the same movie theater on the Upper West Side. I need to find a new movie theater because this one has the AMC has one theater, like one nice theater.
You don't go to the Lincoln Center one?
No, I do.
Oh.
But it only has one nice like theater where they have the nice seats and everything. Every other theater is like old and not good.
Really? Oh, they got to update that.
So like I've only ever seen one movie in the nice one. I thought Air would be in the nice one. It's like it's just the seats aren't comfortable. Like I gotta find a new theater.
You gotta find a new theater.
The fact that I gotta boycott AMC just for the fact that they're charging for Sightline.
Yeah.
But yeah, solid movie. Jury Duty. I watched the first episode. I'll give that a B. Like I'm sure it'll go up as I keep watching, and it's just like it's very original idea.
Yes.
I watched the Louis Capaldi documentary. Give that an A-. I didn't know much about him other than the funny like TikToks I see from him. And I didn't really know his music, but now I might start listening to his music because he has a great voice.
He's really fucking talented. He can sing, that kid.
I like his parents too.
Yeah. I don't know why I said that. Like I was like an old salty judge
really
of
sing that kid.
vocal performances. It's like that kid's really got something, you know.
All right, Simon Cowell.
That kid's really got a special talent.
Yeah. And then I watched episode 3 of season 3 of Dave last night, and I'll give that a B-. Like, the cameos are what makes that show for me.
You
like,
love a good cameo.
I love a good
life,
cameo.
Loves
whether
a good
it's
cameo.
in life or
nobody loves a big cameo
or a
like
TV
Noah.
show.
Yeah.
Concert, you better have a cameo.
He also, the one thing he mentioned from the Louis Capaldi documentary was Niall Horan's cameo.
Yeah. He loves a cameo.
Any concert he's going to in real life, he's like,
who do you think
they're gonna bring out? They gotta have a special guest.
Yeah, when he's going to see Nas.
Yeah.
But Trent, who do you think's gonna be there?
Even like
and guess
John.
what? They brought him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone would not love a good cameo.
Yeah.
No. No judging, but you really appreciate a good cameo.
Yeah.
I mean, this one had like Rick Ross.
That's a great cameo.
Usher.
That's a good cameo.
There were some good ones. So I'll give it a B-.
But see, that's the thing about Dave. He needs cameos.
Oh, he needs cameos.
He needs cameos.
The show itself isn't that.
But
Or
that's
else
like
the show's
that's
not-
like the show, I feel like.
Right, but that's like
He kind of went away from that, I feel like, in season 2, because it was like...
Yeah, right.
I just am not that big of a fan.
Yeah, I don't love it. But I don't hate it. It's worth watching.
Yeah.
It's so short. And
Yeah.
so that's it. That's all I watched.
All right, well, that's all the things we watched
That's
this
it.
week. Game Time is the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Created by fans for fans, Game Time is the ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. We have used Game Time. All of us have used Game Time before. We love Game Time. It's easy. It's quick. Thanks to Game Time, I think I'm going to see Drake this summer, maybe a little Billy Joel. Who knows? We love Game Time, and so can you. Everything is possible with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on these seats you thought you can never buy. The purchase process takes just 2 taps and 10 seconds, and once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone. No printer needed. The app also allows you to easily share tickets with friends via text, so you can get into the game seamlessly. Skip the hassle and enjoy the moment. Download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email, and redeem code CHICKS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Once again, download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email, and redeem code CHICKS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. All right, let's get into the topics. We're going to start off with the biggest one right off the bat. Tom Sandoval did his first interview after everything broke. with none other than Howie Mandel and Howie Mandel's daughter on Howie's podcast.
Yeah.
Howie knew absolutely nothing about Vanderpump, knew nothing about the situation. The reason that he was on is because Howie is friends with somebody in Tom's band.
Yeah.
And that is how Tom went on this podcast. People hate Howie Mandel right now. Okay.
They do.
We like Howie Mandel.
Love Uncle Howie.
Yeah. Howie's great. Unfortunately, he was ill-informed on the situation, and that hurt him a lot because it made him sound really.
We now have a new feud, new Andy Cohen feud. It's Andy Cohen versus Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel bounced back at Andy.
Because the problem is Howie Mandel knows absolutely fucking nothing about the dynamic of the show, the people on the show. He was like, I don't really see what all the hoop was about. And his daughter was
sounds like you just cheated on your girlfriend.
Yeah. And
you weren't married.
It just really was not great that we were like, all right, Howie, what are you up to? Because
smartest move Tom could make, obviously, because he went on someone's podcast who didn't give him any shit. I even thought like Howie's daughter would maybe push back a little bit.
Yeah.
She watches the show. She tried a little, but I was like, come on, push a little.
I was kind of turned off to her a little bit because, you know, Howie, I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but he clearly knew fucking nothing. Yeah. And the fact that he knew Sandoval cheated and was still defending that is crazy. Like, all right, maybe he didn't know anything, but still.
He's like, I know this guy did a bad thing, but he really opened up about mental health. It's like,
to still
we're missing the mark here.
Right, to still defend that is nuts and just like not okay. Yeah. So I was confused with Howie there. But Howie's daughter kept being like Howie would look at her and be like, right? And then she just wouldn't say anything. And it was like, Sandoval's sitting there, okay? Yeah. He's not going to get up. He's taken it all by now. You could say to him, hey, you fucked up. If you're going to sit down with Sandoval, you got to look him in the eye and say, you severely fucked up.
The whole thing was just bizarre. Sandoval trying to rationalize his actions. Yes. There was no it was just an excuse after excuse after excuse, timelines, trying to clear up the timeline, trying to really rationalize his actions.
I was shocked.
And then he'd throw in every once in a while, he'd throw in I know what I did was wrong. Look, I know I fucked up.
And I'm not trying to make excuses, but.
Yeah.
But I actually did find it a little nuts that he did say that him and Raquel kissed before Sheena's wedding.
Yep.
He said, it was just this magnetic feeling. I'm like, bro, the magnetic feeling between you and Raquel was probably the fact that you and Ariana talk about how you guys never have sex.
Yeah.
Ever. You were probably,
Yeah.
You were just horny. Yeah. I think that's what that was.
The way he tried to really spin it as he and Ariana became he kept saying brand. He was we built this life together. I would have been happy just staying. We built this brand, and she threatened to leave the show and disappear if we were to break up. All this stuff that really tried to pinpoint all these things on Ariana. It was really bizarre. And then talking about how they went into couples therapy while he is having this affair with Raquel.
Wild.
And how Ariana really worked on herself in couples therapy. And, and he said he is just, he really is just, just an actual full-blown narcissist. The way he was the next relationship that Ariana has, the Ariana version of her now is so great. Whoever's with her, it's what are you talking about? He was by that point I was already far gone. It was then why the fuck were you making her go to couples
you're gonna
therapy?
Put this girl in couples therapy while you were already deciding that you were out. Yeah, he said the person who gets
I broke up with her on Valentine's Day.
As if that's any better. Yeah. This is where. And oh my God, everything he said. Oh, the person who gets this version of Ariana. Shut up, dude. Shut up. Because while she was making strides, you were having an affair.
Yes.
You should at that point, couples therapy. You got to say in the therapy, hey, I'm out. I'm looking elsewhere.
When you're in couples therapy, you're normally trying to mend your relationship.
You don't go to
the end goal is to be a better couple.
Yeah, I'm not well versed in couples therapy, but I don't think that you go to couples therapy to break up. I think maybe if you come to the conclusion couples therapy isn't working, let's break up.
But it's normally a mutual thing. If you're you know what, this isn't working,
you are already out.
Yeah.
What I do believe, and this this is not excusing him at all because he had a 7-month affair before this.
Yeah.
But him saying that he broke up with Ariana and she was saying, you can't leave me.
Yeah.
And she said like, and he said like, oh, she punched me. And he said, you can't leave me. And this was before she found out at the affair. This was just him trying to break up with her.
Yeah.
I do believe on Valentine's Day, whatever, he did try breaking up with her. Like I believe he tried breaking up with her.
I do too.
But you had a 7-month affair before you tried breaking up with her.
It wasn't
it's not like you tried breaking up with her in the summer before the affair, and she, you know, was telling you no, and then you had the affair, which is still not okay, but you can kind of like understand the motive a little bit more. Like you feel trapped, you're trying to break up with this person, they're not letting you leave, you live in the house.
He still didn't tell Ariana about Raquel when he broke up with her. It wasn't like, we need to break up, I've been having an affair. It was like, he still tried to keep that a secret.
And he tried to make it sound better by being like, I tried breaking up with him, she wouldn't let me. Bro, you had a 7-month affair before you tried breaking up with her, and you still didn't say anything. So like, oh, is it right of Ariana to
and it's not crazy of Ariana to fight for the relationship if she didn't think that, like, she didn't know there was an affair going on.
Right, but also, like, is it right to tell somebody, you know, and I don't know how true this is because I think Sandoval's a liar, right? But is it right to tell somebody that you are going to harm yourself and you're not going to let them leave? No, that's not okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't excuse any of Sandoval's behavior because he did all of that before he tried breaking up with her. Yeah. So it's like everything goes out the window, you know? He can't be like, well, I tried breaking up with Ariana months and months and months ago and she hit me and she did this and whatever. It's like, Tom, it's all, you did all of this before that. Yeah. So he just isn't, like, he's just a liar. And
I know. Look, incredible move from him decide to go on Howie Mandel's podcast. I thought, like, very bizarre move from Bravo to let this happen, because, like, you know, it kind of takes the air out of everybody waiting for the reunion to, like, really find out all the details and whatnot. There was rumors that, like, oh, Bravo, he's going to be fired. But then it was like, oh, no. Then apparently Bravo said, like, that they did, it was, you know, not an official choice, but he went on and he did tell them he was going to do it, whether they liked it or not, which I kind of thought they had, like, more control over that. But I guess.
Yeah, like, why can't Ariana go and call her daddy now if Sandoval can go on Howie Mandel?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm assuming Alex Cooper's making those calls.
I would think so. I would think
Ariana's making the calls. I mean, or maybe Ariana doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe Ariana wants the reunion to be said. Honestly, they're kind of taking away everything from the reunion.
Yeah, and the reunion's still over a month away.
Everybody's yapping their mouths, and we're gonna know everything by the time the reunion comes. Obviously, we're still gonna get all of it.
Which is probably why I think Andy was like,
just very
named Howie his jackhole of the week. But
and also, what wasn't being portrayed to Howie correctly is the fact that Ariana and Raquel were best friends.
I know, yeah, they do.
Like, we're totally leaving out a very important thing. An affair is never okay. Cheating is never okay. Add the fact that this was one of Ariana's best friends.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, it's insane.
No. I don't know why. It was a very bizarre move for Howie to, like, insert himself into this, I feel like, because now, obviously, he's talking about how people are coming for him and he's, like, just doubling down on, like, I know Tom outside of this, like, he's a good guy. It's like, all right,
but you don't know him.
Very unnecessary.
Yeah, you don't know him in his relationships, and he's clearly not great.
Also, you know what I hated? I hated that he said they were talking about the house, and he's like, "Oh, we still live in the house. You know, we're separated." And they're like, "Oh, are you going to sell the house?" He's like, "Well, like, or go somewhere else." He's like, "Well, I run the house. Like, I do the like, I organize the gardening and the housekeeper." I was like, shut the fuck up. You run the house?
I don't know how anybody could be attracted to that man. I'm sorry. I just don't.
And he also said that he and Raquel are, like, friends, but they're
not with benefits.
Taking a moment away from their relationship, not friends with benefits.
Yeah. All in all,
right now,
I think that this is a blessing in disguise for Ariana, even though she was done so dirty and so disrespected by both one of her best friends and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
I hope that Ariana's okay. I hope that if she needs help, she gets help. I think that she's going to be so much better off without these people in her life. The fact that Raquel was able to look Ariana in the eyes during Sheena's wedding, during everything, one of your best friends. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like not like it's one of your best friends. You're cuddling with her on the couch. You're hanging out with her all the time. As we're seeing on the show, like
Sandoval to me just is so caught up in his public persona and like this quote unquote brand he has created. Like even when he was saying that he talked to producers because he was frustrated that he and Ariana were like having issues, but she didn't want to talk about it on camera or like whatever. It just made me feel like Ariana threatening to like leave the show or like all these things. It's like, and Tom's like, well, you know, we've had cheating scandals, we've had this and that. Katie and Tom got divorced. Like they're putting it all on the show, and it's like, well, maybe Ariana feels like this is her, you know, real life, and she is trying to protect some of that. And Tom's just like, put it on TV. Like, I want it out there. Like, it's hard because it's reality TV.
That one I don't really get, because it's like if you sign up for reality TV, you're signing up to put your
but I
life.
do think you never know where your life is going to go, and if something terrible happens, it's not crazy to think like, fuck, I really don't want to put this on the show.
That is true. Like you do have the right to be like, all right, hey, I'm trying to work this out before the whole world knows about it. Maybe we could just keep this between us, because then everyone's gonna have something to say.
Yeah.
I do see that point. I think that all in all, Ariana and Tom should have broken up years ago.
Clearly.
Straight up, what we're seeing here is that these two stayed together because
for
of the show and appearances, and
or at
whatever.
least that's what Tom thinks.
Yeah, in Tom's eyes. But there was no attraction between the two of them. There's no chemistry. They should have broken up years ago.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly sad to see what has happened now, but very, very bizarre.
Yeah.
Very bizarre. I mean, Sandoval grosses me out so much. Like, seriously, I'm like, how could anyone be attracted to this man? I just, oh God. Well, anyways, moving on. Pete Davidson is returning to host Saturday Night Live May 6th.
That's good. That'll be fun. I like that the relationship is still there.
Him and Lauren are good.
Yeah. He and Lauren are old pals.
Lauren was probably like, man, you just get out there. You get out there and do your thing.
It's funny because I bet you he's going to be like, damn, this is more work than when I was a cast member. Like he's got to be like in every sketch.
He could show up and just hang out and smoke weed and Saturday
I feel
Night
like the
Live.
last 2 years he was on the show, he would be maybe in one sketch or like an episode. And like maybe he would pop in during the weekend update. Yeah. Now he's got a whole show to do.
Right. It'll be fun though. It'll be very funny to see. Ariana Grande posted a TikTok video. She was seen paparazzi'd out, and obviously commenters, critics had a lot to say about her appearance, and she got on TikTok to just basically put a message out there that like, you don't need to make comments on people's appearance, whether it's good or bad, regarding, you know, weight. If you think they're too skinny, if you think they're too big, or whatever it is, you never know what somebody's going through. She said that everybody keeps saying she's not healthy and like referring to times at which she was her healthiest. And she's saying, you basically don't know me. The times that you're referring to as my healthiest was actually my least healthiest. I was on all this medication. I was at my lowest point in my life. Basically, you don't know what's going on in someone's life, which I think is actually a great message, because I think that is something that, I mean, we talk about people on the show all the time, and we try to be mindful of like, we don't really know the full story or don't know everything that's going on in someone's life. It's important to acknowledge when you're talking about someone's appearance, because you don't know what they could be going through health-wise, if they are completely fine, if they are not fine, maybe something dramatic is happening in their lives, maybe they're sad, maybe they're happy. You really just don't know a lot of times.
And it can really go both ways. Like the norms that society still has, where like people see someone, they're like, oh, she looks so great, but that person could be going through so much mentally, physically. You have no idea what kind of toll that takes on their bodies. People who sometimes, when they decide to get healthy and feel good, they look different, but they're like, I feel my best right now. Like this is, and then people start to comment on their body, and it always spirals. It's never a good thing. So clearly I think she very eloquently said what she was feeling, and you know, she's like, you know, give got to have a lot more grace when you're talking about other people, especially when it comes to their bodies.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a very good point.
Right. And at the end of the day, everybody's healthy looks different.
Yeah.
Every single person's healthy, their body looks different for them, feels different for them. So what you may think is healthy for you may not be healthy for somebody else. And people just have different body types. And I think it's just something people need to accept.
Yeah.
Some people are super skinny, some people are not. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And you just, something that unfortunately people will never stop doing. They should learn to stop, but it's just unfortunate that it's always going to be a conversation no matter what.
Yeah.
And also, like, women's bodies just fluctuate so much. Mm-hmm. And it's something that people just can't grasp, I guess. Last topic. Lili Reinhart is now dating Jack Martin.
Yeah.
And
we say dating like they clearly are seeing each other.
Yeah, they're clearly seeing each other. They were spotted kissing.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the airport.
I don't know what their official status is.
Yeah, I don't know if they're boyfriend, girlfriend, but they're dating.
Yeah.
After
phenomenal photos.
Jack Martin went on Plan Brie, dressed as Cole Sprouse, making fun of Cole Sprouse. Now him and Lili Reinhart are dating. Clearly, Lili Reinhart took a liking to that.
This absolutely cracks me up. I don't know what it says about Cole Sprouse, but honestly, Jack on Plan Brie was so funny, and he did such a good job. And the fact that that could have been the intro of Lili Reinhart seeing who this guy is for the first time,
it definitely was the intro, right?
I
don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it was before, maybe it was after, but
we're assuming yes. But it's just it is very funny, and people have been joking that Jack and Cole kind of have similar vibes ish, but it's objectively very funny.
It is.
Jack's probably hell yes.
Yeah. I do think it is a bizarre foundation to have for your relationship. If that is how Lili Reinhart was introduced to Jack Martin, being oh, he's making fun of my ex, now I want to date him. It's a bizarre foundation to have.
Yeah.
When you tell the story, it's oh, he was making fun of my ex and I thought it was a funny video and whatever. It's that that always being the, it's kind of
funny, so funny.
It's
story.
kind of a strange foundation to have, but hey, if they're into each other,
it actually is a funny story, and I do. Jack is a friend, so I think that this is just it's a funny situation, and I'm seeing the pictures of him. I guess he was dropping her off at the airport. It looked like
it's like that.
Damn, okay. There's some. We're out here. We're kissing at the airport.
If you're dropping someone off at the airport, it's
LA.
somewhere.
You're driving LAX,
right? Traffic,
dropping her off. But yes, this like you said, funny connection.
Very funny. I'm excited to see where it goes.
I know. He's got to be pumped, I'm sure.
For sure. All right, one more thing to wrap up this podcast. What's your one more thing?
My one more thing is that Billy McFarland said that he's going to do Fire Festival too.
If anybody falls for this, you are one of the dumbest people alive. If you buy a ticket to Fire Fest. Now, if we're invited, do we have to
you
go?
Still don't go.
No, you never go. We're
invited to Fire Fest just for the story of being I was there.
No.
I'm shocked that for content wise, you
also,
wouldn't be all for.
Also,
if Billy McFarland was I'll fly you guys out to Fire Fest, whatever happens.
Why would you trust him though?
This is
no, of course that's why you're what kind of content are we gonna get from this?
I don't think he would ever actually be able to get the backing to do this. He claims that he's gonna put on some events. He tweeted, "Fire Festival 2 is finally happening," with some flame emojis. "Tell me why you should be invited." The immediate response includes remarks such as, "Imagine having this level of audacity." McFarland was released from prison in 2022 after doing 4 years of a 6-year sentence as a result of pleading guilty to charges involving defrauding investors and scamming ticket buyers. He was fined $26 million. Earlier in April, he tweeted, "I was one of the most Googled people in the world. What's next will be the biggest comeback of all time. My plan, get some wins under my belt, rebuild trust, and build an audience so I can build the next media empire." So, you know, he also owes people $26 million. So, you know, he's got to work on getting that back.
I love Rhea being like, if you do this, you're the stupidest person ever. But should we go if we're invited?
No, like if you are buying a ticket as just like a consumer.
Yeah.
But then you would turn into like Kendall Jenner, where it's like you're the problem.
The stupidest people alive would be exactly. The stupidest people alive would be the investors actually.
You'd be like, yeah, I'll fly you.
No,
you just post on your story that.
No, but we're going into it knowing that it's going to be a shit show. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going into it thinking like, yeah, this is going to be Firefest. Like, woohoo! Like, I'm going into it like this is going to be a disaster, and we need to capture the footage and make our own documentary on this second disaster.
It'll never be. It'll never be done.
Either way,
I mean,
then
there's
you're just
just
helping
no
him, which
way.
is like,
yeah, exactly.
You're right. But I wouldn't be helping him. I would be trashing it.
No, but it would be bringing attention.
Any press,
promo. Yeah.
I guess.
I guess even me talking about it right now. No, but I
guess.
It's more of like there's no way, in my mind, like there's no way. Who's going to be the first person to give him money to like build something? Nobody. That would be an absolutely insane move.
It really would be.
So that's my one more thing.
My one more thing is Kris Jenner's a squirter, and nobody talked about it. Why did that fly under the radar?
Didn't the interview happen like years ago?
No, it happened like months ago.
Oh, okay.
Or like summer of 2022.
But did something happen where like it was taken out of context, or like they were talking about something else? Did I miss something?
I've just been seeing it
only
on
because I
TikTok.
saw Kevin make a video about it, and then I saw Kevin post on his story that he needed to apologize.
Oh, once again, it was Howie Mandel. It was taken out of. Probably was taken out of context, but it's just a hilarious clip.
It is a bizarre clip.
Somehow went viral recently and like flew under the radar. That was my one more thing.
Yeah. And really, I guess it did go viral. I don't know why. I was like, that was a clip.
Just out of context.
What a week for Howie Mandel.
Yeah. Quite a week Howie's having as a podcaster. As a podcast host.
Yep.
Have us on the podcast, Howie. Actually not right now. I want your hate to die down first.
Yeah, it's just like maybe
you gotta do your research.
Yeah. I guess like
he fucked up not doing his homework.
I guess in my mind, like I'm thinking that in his mind he's like so above watching Vanderpump Rules. Like he probably thinks like, I don't have to watch this reality TV show. I don't know who these people are. I don't care.
Howie just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
He clearly didn't get it.
Yep.
And that was not good for him.
No. We have an awesome interview with James Marsden, but I don't know why I just said Marsden like that.
It's because every time you think of him, this like different side of you comes
really,
out.
it's just, it really is. But first, guys, sometimes the days can get so crazy that you forget to make time for fun. So when that happens, you've got to choose to chill. So go ahead, say yes to midweek happy hours and catching the game after work. And while you're at it, enjoy an ice cold Coors Light, the beer that's made to chill. There's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way you always know when it's time to chill. So this is it. It's mountain cold refreshment. So for me, weekends coming up, weather's getting nice, sitting outside, having a nice ice cold Coors Light, or headed to the bar, maybe a Coors Light draft. Delicious. So when you choose to chill, pair your plans with an ice-cold Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. And always celebrate responsibly from Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest. We are joined by the lovely James Marsden, who's here to talk about his new show, Jury Duty, which is hilarious. We've seen it. We love it. We think it's so funny. And thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. And very nice words about all of that.
Yes.
Me, the show, all of it.
Yep.
Right.
How often are you in New York?
I used to come quite a bit when I was doing 30 Rock. I would come in every month. But the last 3 or 4 years, I haven't been in a while. I'm very excited to be here. And for what people are telling me, the best week of the year. They're getting some nice
It's
weather.
going to be 80
nice
degrees every day.
Every day?
Which doesn't make any sense.
Well, you're welcome.
It's all
I
because
bring
of you.
with me the
warm-
weather.
Yes. So why, I know we're starting off pretty hot right off the bat here, but why did you start off with Jimmy and then change to James?
We were
doing
doing some research, hard-hitting questions, and we were, you have been in so many great things, but we were going through it. It was like he was in this as Jimmy Marsden.
Yeah.
As
Right.
Jimmy Marsden.
Your first role, the nanny, Jimmy Marsden, stepped out on the scene.
Because that's what I was. I mean, I grew up as Jimmy Marsden. That was like my name growing up in
Jimmy!
as
He's
a
a
kid.
fun guy.
Like, sounds like I grew up in Jersey, but I actually grew up in Oklahoma. Yeah, that's what my family called me. My friends called me, and when I got into the business, I thought, I don't know. I didn't get clever about wanting to change my name for any reason. And I remember doing. I don't know. You guys probably won't even remember this, but those are like Tiger Beat, Teen Beat magazines.
Oh, of course.
And I started to take myself probably a little too seriously. I was like, I don't need to be in those magazines. I want to be taken serious as an actor. And at some point, I just switched it to James because I think maybe enough people said, James is such a nice name. Why don't you stick with that? And I thought, okay. When I was younger, it sounded too much like my father. It sounded fatherly and old.
Yeah.
James is more official. Jimmy's like, oh, Jimmy's here.
Yeah, right. Jimmy's more fun. James is more cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Jimmy's down to party. James is business.
Right. That's kind of, I guess, I mean, I didn't really put that much thought into it, to be honest. But now when I hear someone say Jimmy, it's like I know. When I hear out of the corner of my head and I hear Jimmy, I'm like, that's somebody who's known me for a really long time.
Yeah.
And it actually feels nice. So I'm actually going to change it back.
After this interview.
Yeah, and
Thanks to
no.
us.
I'm going Jamie after this interview.
Ooh.
Just to
Jamie
be
Marsden.
with all the young kids.
Yeah,
changing
May
their
we
names.
call you Jimmy?
You can call me Jimmy, yes. I
on
really
that
am
level
indifferent.
now?
Yes, but I'm indifferent to either one. I love them both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love Jury Duty. It is, for those who don't know, because it's kind of like it popped up really fast.
Right.
And now everyone's talking about it. And I've seen it all over social media, but it's basically a mockumentary, I would say, of like of going to jury duty. There is one man who thinks he is really at jury duty and everyone else are actors.
Yes.
And you play yourself. James
I play an
Marsden.
exaggerated version
Yes.
of myself. I play Jimmy, not James. Yeah, that's a pretty good, accurate description. I mean, it's a hard show to talk about, or at least describe, because I can't think of many comps. Like it's not.
Yeah.
So I was approached by the creators of The Office, who I'm a huge fan of that show, and my friend David Bernard, who produces White Lotus, and we've done a couple of things before. I said, we have this interesting concept for a show, which is 8 episodes of a cast of characters going to jury duty. But it's all fake. Like it's a real courthouse, but it was abandoned. We took it over. It will be one celebrity and a bunch of young improv actors who are relatively unrecognizable or not, on purpose by design, right?
There was one that I recognized, and I was like, but there's no way this guy knows who he knows
right.
who he
It
is.
was a gamble, and then one guy who does not know the whole thing is fake. So the whole thing is scripted. The dialogue isn't scripted, but the circumstances are scripted.
Yeah.
Like there's story arcs for each character. But there's a wild card, and this guy who comes in and thinks that there are cameras following around for some of it, but there are also hidden cameras through a lot of it. So he thinks it's a documentary, like a boring documentary on jury duty that's going to end up on public broadcast or something. So I said, well, I don't want to do a prank show because I don't want to, I don't want to make fun of this guy who's in the dark or put the screws to him or make him embarrassed or humiliated. But I get to play this sort of really heightened version of myself, which is the entitled Hollywood, jackass who's not interested in any conversation that doesn't involve him or his work. So it was a way for me to kind of send up the Hollywood celebrity thing.
Yeah.
But also play with all these really gifted improv artists. I just love that style of comedy. Christopher Guest has always been a hero of mine. So I jumped at the chance, but that I was not ready for the component of this guy who you just don't know what he's going to say. You don't know what he's going to react to. You don't know what's going to embarrass him or make him laugh.
Yeah.
So you have to be nimble and be able to sort of pivot. And you get one take, right? So every day is another day of jury duty. And if anytime you get suspicious, we would have to back off, and you'd hear from the director in the control room, okay, like time for 6 hours of boring droning on in court.
Yeah.
So that he would go, oh, well, this can't be a show because that was so
That was
boring.
6 hours
Right,
doing
6 hours of
everything.
boring.
Yeah.
And poor James Marsden's over there taking a nap. And I really was taking a nap. So it was a bizarre experience, but really, no one knew if it was going to work or not. And then like sort of ethically, I was like, boy, you're messing with somebody's. I mean, look, at the end, this is how they proposed it to me. We're creating a hero's journey for this guy. He doesn't know it, but we're surrounding him by this group of sort of wonderful weirdos. And by the end of it, hopefully, if we create this path for him, he becomes the sort of the leader of the group and unites all of us at the end. And he did. And it was like, but like if he wanted to turn left when we wanted him to turn right, we'd have to turn left and sort of adjust along the way. Yeah. So that was exciting. It was this high wire act feeling of live theater, sort of.
Yeah. It was really cool. Such a good idea. It was hilarious. And I think while watching it, people probably had the same thought where you're like, this guy is not an actor, but he's so good. Like, you were like, is he? He's not in on it, but is he? Because he was just throwing out lines that just added such great material for you guys to play around with.
Absolutely. In fact, one of them on the very first day, it's scripted. Here's what a script would look like. James sits down next to our hero. We map it all out with rehearsal of like how we get that open seat, right? So make sure that I sit next to him. We plant a woman to come up and take a photo of me or ask for a photo. Yeah. James takes the camera and asks our hero, hey, would you mind taking this selfie of us? Sure. And then it opens up the door of conversation. And he's like, I knew I recognized you. I didn't know from what. And I was like, yeah, I've been in a lot of stuff. And talking up the thing.
The socks.
And then I saw someone who was actually wearing socks that looked like it said Sonic on it. I thought, again, this is all just on the fly.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of a way in to talk about, my stuff. And I'm like, I thought his socks said Sonic. He goes, wait, Sonic? I'm like, yeah, I'm in that movie. Yeah. And he's like, oh, wait, you're in that movie? He goes, I didn't see it. I heard it was terrible.
So it's so like, good. You're like
comedy gold. Like, and then I get to go, a lot of people saw it. You should check it out. Yeah. And then he came in the next day. Made a lot of money. Yeah, made a lot of money. And he came in the next day. He's like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. I saw the movie last night. It was so great. You didn't tell me Ben Schwartz was in it. I'm like, what about me, bro? So it was great. He was actually hitting moments that were scripted before we even got him there.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Like he proposed to one of our other actors. One of our other actors was supposed to bring up, I'm going to say that I'm racist to get out of jury duty. Yeah. And then Ronald, before he even got there, he goes, I just watched this Family Guy episode where he's just, I'm like, oh my God. It's like he read the script.
Yeah. That's why it was so hard to believe that he's not an actor, because you're like, he's comedy gold. He knows what he's doing. And also the other actors as well, because like you said, it's one shot. You have to be really sharp and great with improv.
Right.
Because you don't really get another chance to be like, wait a second, didn't like how I said that one. Yeah. Let's redo this.
Yeah, and sometimes if it's not right or the moment didn't work or you weren't able to get close to him, they'll be like, okay, put a pin in that and like we'll come back to it later and see if you can introduce that bit later. So they had little safety nets along the way.
So you have somebody in your ear?
No. So some people do, like the judge. I think the judge, who's awesome, by the way. He anchors the whole thing in reality. It's Ike Barinholtz, the actor. It's his father. Oh. Who was a prosecutor his whole career and then just got into acting late in his life.
That's amazing.
And so he's genius. And the two attorneys are practicing attorneys who also like love to act and took improv classes or whatever. So I think he had one just to sort of like,
I feel like you could definitely find a lot of people in LA that have normal jobs now, but are like, I did have a dream of acting one time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I actually there's a funny story. I don't want to get off the topic, but there was a stand-in on a job I did once. And this guy I was like, have you always done this? He was like, no. What was your job before this? He goes, I worked for the CIA. Like, you fucking kidding me? Really? He was like, yeah, I was a CIA agent for a long time. I was just like not in love with it anymore. I'm going to go be an actor.
Thought I'd try acting.
Have a little passion.
And not even acting. Like he's a stand-in on a show. He's like, I love this. Just like love being on set. And it's like, just, wow.
It's probably calming for him.
Yeah, exactly.
A nice change of pace.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so, I don't know. So for me, it was like, this guy Ronald is, not only comic gold, because we're not making fun of him, but he was open to, there were guys in the cast who were supposed to weird him out. Like by design, it was supposed to like freak him out. Like Todd, the guy with the chair pants. And he just put his arm around them. Like we didn't know how he was going to react if he was, get away from me, you weirdo. But he like bolstered his confidence, and
he did kind of turn it into making you all like one big like very weird family almost, which is
Yeah.
why it worked. Like,
Yeah.
and it's funny. So I didn't know this, but was the creators of The Office? Did they made the show or they?
They're showrunners of the show.
Okay.
They co-wrote
Got it.
the whole thing.
Which
it was
is
their concept. Yeah.
Totally, because I literally just said I said to our producer, I was like, when they go to Margaritaville, I'm like, that is a scene from The Office. Like that,
Sure.
it felt so similar,
Right.
but it works so well.
Yeah, and to credit, I mean, it was those guys. It was Dave Burnett. It was Todd Schulman, who worked with Sasha on all his stuff, and this another producer, Nick Hatton, who knows this world, right?
Yeah.
How to kind of fool somebody, I guess. But the tone was always The Office, right? It was always, but without scripted dialogue.
Yeah.
I mean, to the writer's credit, there was like, in the scripts, it was like, this is the moment where Marsden brings up that he wants to go into character for this role that he's auditioning for. He talks about he usually doesn't have to audition, but for this auteur director, he's got to, So kind of the lines are somewhat there, and I just get to sort of mold them into what I want to say. And it's great because you're just in this cage, not a cage, but like you're there on set of doing whatever you're doing. And every morning I was like, okay, what are the beats we're hitting today? What's the sort of story points we're hitting? And what's some fun stuff that I can do? Because once you're in there, the director can't come in and go, cut, do that again. I'm free creatively. I can do whatever the hell I want.
So fun.
And stay in that character. I don't know. It was so much fun, but it was tenuous at times because it was like he's catching on.
Yeah.
He's really switched on, this guy. He's very smart. And there were times where it was like, oh, is he gonna? In fact, at Margaritaville, when we did the arm wrestling thing, the day before we shot that, it was supposed to be something else, and we did not think he was gonna buy it. It was supposed to be like a hot wings eating contest or something and everyone was like, I can't do it. The lady was supposed to come in and say, all right, well, this bill's $1,500, but if someone eats this entire plate of crazy
Never
hot
would
wings,
happen, yeah.
And so we planted a couple of super, super hot ones for the other cast. And then we would give Ronald like the mild ones. And he'd eat them and be like, these aren't hot at all. And he'd eat the whole thing like, you're a hero. But we were like, he's not going to buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were like, what do we do? I was like, what if we do some sort of competition where it can be fixed? Like, if it's me, I can lose on purpose. I mean, the guy beat me legit anyway. But anyway, so you're just constantly pivoting along the way, and that's the excitement of it.
Such a good idea. So well made all around.
Do you know how you guys found, like how they found this guy?
I wasn't in on that process, but I had a lot of questions about it. Like what, I think they interviewed a lot of people under the guise of, hey, would you,
Participate in a documentary of...
I participated in a documentary about jury duty. You'd be actually get your jury duty out of the way, which this poor guy, he finishes this show and he's like, I still haven't actually done jury duty.
That's so funny. Like as an incentive, like, oh, it'll
Right,
cross
right.
that box.
Cross that box,
you're good
you're
for jury
done.
duty for
Right.
years.
But I think they did sort of I guess they interviewed him, or I don't know what the process was of how they found him. But I remember him saying something about, in one of his early interviews, that he was at a stage of his life where he was open to adventure. I was like, I'm just kind of keeping my eyes open with curiosity about like what's next in my life, and like look at it with. And he was so pure-hearted and sweet, and kind of the moral compass of the whole thing, right? Like again, we're all doing these crazy shit. And he's just like, this is so weird, man. But he was a gem. I mean, he really is. And to me, what was important was when you're messing with somebody for their human experience for 3 weeks of their life, that's a lot of, that's keeping somebody in the dark for a really long time. You better make sure that by the end of it, because it's so subjective, like what he's going to be embarrassed about or what's going to upset him or...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even like a surprise birthday party, let alone 3 weeks of like, hey, this was all
And
fake.
it has to end enough where he like isn't gonna freak out that the show's gonna come out, right?
Right,
Like
right. And the whole idea is at the end, we're like hoisting him on our shoulders and celebrating his character. But like, it's a pretty unorthodox way to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was important to me, and I stress this every day with the producers. I was like, listen, we can't finish this and then go, hey, nice to meet you, see ya.
Yeah.
Because he's talked to he's forged a lot of friendships.
Yeah.
He
and,
thinks
like,
you guys are pals
Yeah.
now.
and we are. And so we were like, we
He's
need to
besties
make
with
sure.
James Marsden.
Yeah.
He's,
Right. that is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not going away. And we still keep in touch. We went for a beer
Right.
last week.
Yeah.
Like he hangs out with the rest of the cast still. It's like, yes, this was all fake, but our friendships and our times that we had together
Right.
was all very much us.
Right. Yeah.
That
And
makes
we
a
were
lot of
having a good
sense
time.
because
That's
it's almost
Right,
like
because otherwise it's pretty cruel.
right because you think of it like when you're a kid in school and people are playing a joke on the
Yeah.
kid that's not friends with everybody else, and then at the end of the day they go home and they
Sure.
cry about it and they're
Yeah.
like, what's real, what's fake. So it's
Yeah.
it's a nice way to treat him after that. And now he could probably become an actor.
Oh, I'm seeing people sending me stuff. By the way, like over the weekend, I had no idea if anyone was going to even know about the show. Or
It's all over TikTok.
Yeah.
and I've
It's
gotten every
all over.
TikTok thing. I'm not on
Yeah.
TikTok,
Yeah.
but I was like, how do you view all of this on TikTok and comments or whatever? And everyone's saying 60 million views or
Yeah.
something like just, I don't know how that happened. But I see a lot of the comments say like, Ronald is the next Bachelor. Ronald is like, he's my perfect man. He's such a sweetheart. Like, and I hope he sees all of that because again, we're celebrating him at the end, and we want him to know that this was, maybe that adventure that he maybe not fully asked for, but like
Right.
was open to.
Well, he
He's
does
open to
seem
adventure.
he does seem very caring. Like there are moments
Yeah.
where it feels very genuine in the way he reacts to all of you guys. That it's very sweet. Like even with the older woman when she's constantly falling asleep.
Yeah, he's taking care of her.
and he's like, wake up. Like
Yeah,
he's like
he's
so
being gentle with
like
her, right.
He says something
it's
like, don't do that.
yeah, or like she
Great
the
guy.
person started clapping and he was
Right.
like, don't.
But also too, I don't want to spoil something because it's an episode this weekend.
Oh yeah,
But
don't spoil
I
it
do
yet.
something really, really unsavory, and I kind of lose my cool in a very egocentric way.
Okay.
And his reaction was like, I've enjoyed that guy. I like his work or whatever, but like, no. And I was like,
He was done with
Yeah.
you.
good,
Yeah.
like,
good for you, because he was like,
No
oh,
more
he's so
James
cool. I'm
Marsden.
friends with James Marsden. He's a celebrity, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I do something really dickish.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
He's got
No,
good. He's got good morals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. This
That's
is
great to
great.
see.
Perfect guy for this.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that you were friendly with somebody who works on the White Lotus.
Yes, David Bernard. He's the producer of the show.
Now, do you have any wishes and desires to be a part of that show? Because I could see you.
I mean, who doesn't now,
Right.
Could
right?
see you on the
I
White
could
Lotus.
see you fitting into the White Lotus.
Really?
Yeah.
Fitting into the White Lotus.
like just like a
Squeezing through the
yeah,
front door.
Yeah.
That's it.
making a little appearance.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. I would.
Yes.
I would really enjoy that. Mike White, the creator, showrunner.
yeah.
So David Bernard and Mike White and I did a movie back in about 5-6 years ago called D Train with me and Jack Black, and it was one of the things when people say, "Hey, what movie that nobody really saw that you're super proud of that you'd want people to check out?" I'd say that.
Yeah.
Because it's Mike White and his super brilliant comedy, and it's a darker movie than you think it would be because it looks like it's just going to be a buddy comedy. So yes, I love Mike and I love David, and I've done a couple things with David over the years. So yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of our
The
favorites.
show's going to get me on it, right?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
We're putting it out there in the
We'll
universe.
put this on TikTok.
Okay.
it'll-
Put it on
yeah,
TikTok.
yeah.
And then all the people
Marsden
be like,
is
"Oh my
available to go to
God,
Thailand."
I love that guy from Jury Duty. Get him on the
Yeah,
White
yeah.
Lotus.
Get him on
And
the
it
White
just
Lotus.
spirals from
And
there.
then it's going to look like I got the job because he's my friend, right?
I mean, but it really is. It does feel like, Mike White's phone's got to be blowing up of everyone just being like, "Hey, Mike,
Yeah,
sure.
long time no talk. That
Right.
show you got
In fact,
pretty
didn't
good."
Jennifer Aniston
yeah, I was
just
just
come
gonna
out
say
and
Jennifer
say,
Aniston would play Jennifer Coolidge's younger sister or
Yeah.
daughter or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that award season, everyone was like Jamie Lee Curtis was like, "Haven't seen it, would love to be on it though." Like,
Right.
so
Yeah,
it's,
I know.
it's got that reputation. But one of our favorites of your TV shows just ended was Dead to Me. We loved.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
And how was it to wrap up that show? Because unfortunately, it did feel like it could maybe continue, but it also, I don't know, it kind of also ended at a good time, maybe.
Yeah.
It was a tough one because
Yeah.
we had so much fun on that, and it was a family that, I was only supposed to be on the first season as that guy,
Yeah.
Steve,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I called Liz, and I was like, I had so much fun
Yeah.
doing the show. It's like, is there any way I can come back for another season? Because I was actually purposely going, I'm only going to do this for one season.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, with Christina and Linda and everybody just had the best
they're
time. And the
incredible.
writing was so great.
Absolutely hilarious.
I was like, and she goes, twin? And I was like, nah, come on. And she was
Don't
like,
be crazy.
No, I think we could actually make it work. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit. Okay. But then
And
it
it did
worked.
work.
It totally worked.
And so then it was like, I think Liz always, I don't want to speak for her, but she did tell me, the impression I got was she wanted to end it in 3 years. And end it the way she really wanted to end it. But, with Christina and her diagnosis, that obviously came in and changed everything, right? It was really difficult for her to get through the last season of all the shooting. But obviously we were there for her and she was there for us. So it was bittersweet the way it had to end that way. But I know it was by design that we ended it the way we did, like on this sort of cliffhanger. Like, what's she getting ready to tell him?
I know. I did like the way, because it did feel like the way every season ended was always on a crazy cliffhanger. Sure. So it never felt like a show that was going to end wrapped in a bow. Yeah. Like that just didn't match.
Right. And the audience can decide what they think happened. What do you think happened?
I mean, I have this sort of romantic view of it, which is she tells him, and that his love for her and their bond as a couple is so strong that, I mean, they've been through so much already without that bomb drop, which was the ultimate atom bomb drop, of course. Yes. But I think he feels probably guilty of, or would feel guilty of everything he was hiding as well. But I think that they would probably, that would be something that would even strengthen their bond somehow in some kind of perverse way.
Yeah, I could see that. That's kind of his personality, him being like, we'll work through this.
Right. And we'll go to therapy a few times a day for the rest of our life. But I'd see that ending very positively. I don't know, but we don't know.
Yeah. So now you're in New York, you're walking the streets of New York, people I'm sure stop you. Oh my God, you're the guy. What's like the number one thing people recognize you
There
from?
were a few people walking around the last couple of days that mentioned Jury Duty.
Yeah.
I think if it's younger people, they'll say like Sonic, right? Jim Carrey thing. I don't know what the Dead to Me is kind of, it's interesting. Nowadays, it's like,
it is funny because I guess it really does also depend on like the person, because I think for us a lot of people would be like 27 Dresses,
Hairspray,
like that world, but like my dad would be like Cyclops, like
right, exactly.
So I feel like it definitely depends, but it's cool because I feel like you've done every genre.
I feel like I have. I've been very lucky to be afforded the ability to jump around on all these different genres. And it wasn't by design from a young age. It was like, why'd you do this drama and then go do this comedy and this and that? It was like, because they gave me the job. Yeah. Because I'm just, whatever work comes my way, and they decide, oh, you're cast, and you do it. And then you start to get a little more selective and you curate what you want to do. And I started realizing that maybe that plays to my strengths, like to be able to do something like where you're playing a superhero and then turning around and like getting to sing in Hairspray and doing the Goofy Prince and Enchanted and so I was always the guy. I hope this doesn't come off as arrogant and maybe more self-deprecating, that I didn't feel like I was great at one thing, but just kind of good at a lot of things.
Right.
So I was the guy who got to do
it all.
Yeah, and 3 generations in.
Yeah, I mean,
or not generations, decades.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like, you're not
slow down, bro. You're getting old. You're racing to death. Okay? Hit the brakes.
Oh, man. But yeah, I think like when you look back and it's like, yes, you see X-Men, you see those romance, you see comedy, you see animation. The superhero movies have got to be the most physically taxing.
You would think. But like my guy just does this. You would think. And also the suit. I remember those suits that they had us in, especially in the first X-Men movie. It was all one piece and leather, thick leather. And on the very first day of shooting, when we had to all be in our suits for the very first time, it was me, Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, and Famke Janssen having to not vault over a stone wall at the base of the Statue of Liberty, but it was like a little step, but it was higher than a regular step. It's like 2 feet. and none of us could get over the wall. We were supposed to like be action heroes, jump over everything, just like falling on our face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, and I don't know, nowadays, like so much of it is like CGI and everything.
Yeah.
But yes, I've been in enough harnesses to know you're flying through the air that like better keep your core in good shape to be doing the superhero stuff.
Now that now that whole world is open and everything, I'm a little bit of a superhero movie nerd. I love them all. Would you revisit if they wanted to like find some way to mold
of
Cyclops
course.
and back in your Cyclops?
Yeah, of course. I feel like there's a lot of people, the fans of the comic, that come up to me and say, "Hey, he never got his due. So he's like the leader of the X-Men," and that was always very nice to hear.
Yeah.
It's hard to make a movie and have it be under 2 hours and introduce all these characters, and then do a second film and introduce 5 more, and it's a tricky thing. But yeah, of course, I mean, I loved being a part of those X-Men movies, and you could make a spin-off about every one of those characters, because there's so much rich, detail going back to the early 60s in the comics that you could and also like I feel very proud to have been like the X-Men movies kind of started it all.
Yeah.
I mean, there were comic book movies before that, but they were a little goofier.
Yeah.
Where they actually were wearing spandex.
Yeah.
And everyone on X-Men was like, let's ground this in this real reality of like have it be about tolerance and feeling different than someone. Anyway, but now, so I feel very proud of that. But also, I feel like we kind of missed. Shit! I just keep wanting to hit this thing. Sorry.
Whoa. Just take it easy. Yeah.
Sorry, Lois. I don't know my own strength. There was a bullet coming through that I caught. You didn't see it.
He was like, "Oh, you want to bring it back? Right now."
But I sort of feel like we missed the whole like. I don't know. It was like the MCU. Like it was something not in my lexicon. It was not anything
totally.
Until
now
recently.
It's so wide open. That
Right. Well,
they got people popping into different movies. Saw what they did with Spider-Man.
Right.
So
So
you never know.
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Now we have a little trivia game.
So Camp, I just put my phone number on the show.
Yeah.
So Kevin Feige and everyone at Marvel
Put
just
it
like,
out
hey.
there. Yeah, I'm sure
We
you'll get no
moonlight
strange
as
calls.
agents.
Terrific.
Yes.
Can you daylight it too?
We are going to play a little James Marsden trivia really quick.
boy.
Should be easy.
We thought this would be kind of fun because you're James Marsden playing cocky James Marsden in the show. So let's see how well James Marsden knows James Marsden.
Yeah. This is questions for you.
Do I do it
not
as
for us.
me or as the jackass James Marsden on jury
I
duty?
want
Your
you to
choice.
do it as jackass James Marsden.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just way more fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to be earnest.
So how often does the paparazzi really follow you?
Open the door. They're right outside.
All right, first question. What order did these 3 movies come out? 27 Dresses, Hairspray, and Enchanted.
Oh, that's tough because they're very close. When did they come out?
In what order?
In
From
what order?
oldest to newest.
I know the order in which I shot them, which was the summer of 2006. I was doing Enchanted and then immediately went to Toronto for Hairspray. And then 27 Dresses
you
was
just
the
looked
third.
at my notebook.
No,
I saw
no.
You glanced down.
I like, sorry, Lois. I'm like, the supervision. I can't read that. It was, I would say, Enchanted, Hairspray, 27 Dresses.
Close. Hairspray, Enchanted, then 27
Okay,
Dresses.
this is where I get confused because I shot Enchanted first.
Yeah.
They had
You never know
They
which
had
way they're gonna
more.
come out.
I don't
They had
know.
more to do in post, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
for Enchanted.
I guess so. Yeah.
Than Hairspray.
Now, this is very official and high praise. You brought home a Blockbuster Entertainment Award in 2001. What role was that for? What movie?
Blockbuster. I don't even remember this award. Probably the only award I've ever won, and I don't remember it. Blockbuster award in 2001.
Yes,
Probably be X-Men.
that is correct.
Good deductive reasoning
Yes.
there.
It wasn't for disturbing behavior. I'll guarantee you that.
This one is match the song to the movie. So I'm going to give you 3 songs
Make it hard.
and 3 movies.
I'm good at this.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
We'll do Without Love, True Love's Kiss, and Love Power. It's Hairspray, Disenchanted, and Enchanted.
Okay, give me the song names again. Hairspray, Disenchanted, and Enchanted.
And it's Love Power, True Love's Kiss, and Without Love.
Okay, Love Power is Disenchanted. True Love's Kiss is Enchanted. And what was the last song? By process of elimination?
Without
Hairspray.
Love.
Without Love.
Without Love. Yeah.
Yes.
Nailed it. You're pretty good at this.
Pretty good at James Marsden trivia.
Thanks. I'd rather have a perfect score, but I screwed up the first one.
What actress played Rogue in X-Men?
Anna Paquin.
God, that would be rude.
I mean, right. Come on, let's up this.
It's just like,
There's
we're
only
really
one
gonna
more
trick
left.
you.
Let's make it advanced.
What was Lon Hammond's job in The Notebook?
Being a simp.
Great answer.
Simpin'. What was his job? Like his actual vocation?
Yes.
That's a good question. That is advanced.
Yeah.
He was like wasn't he like an oil tycoon guy or something? Was he?
He had a job.
Yeah, I know, of course.
did.
He made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And she still dropped him like a bad habit. He was he? I want to say something in agriculture. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm guessing not like an oil guy because you would have said yes. Was he like a stockbroker or something?
He was a lawyer.
Was he?
Yeah.
Jesus, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, Notebook fans.
A rich lawyer.
Well, we looked this up and we were not. It was very clear. I think very clear that he's a lawyer
In the book.
In the book, I'm not sure how clear they make it in the movie.
Oh well,
Yes.
sorry.
But I'm also not
Under
sure.
protest.
I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah.
That I can't remember how clear they make that.
Hey, but if you
obviously.
studied your character thoroughly, you would know he was a lawyer.
Well, no, I would know that he's whatever I want him to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was an oil tycoon.
We are changing the script. All right, that wraps up James Marsden trivia.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
You did pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty
Still
good.
got the old memory to some degree.
Thank God.
After 3 generations.
Yeah.
Through three generations. We loved you in Casablanca.
Oh, James, thank you so much. This
thanks
was
for having me.
amazing.
Yes, thank you so
Everyone
much.
can watch Jury Duty, Amazon, which is super easy.
Freevee.
Freevee.
Yeah, Amazon Freevee.
Prime.
Amazon Freevee, which is super easy. You can search it, stream it. It's really
so easy. They're
very
so
funny.
easy to watch too. It's
Yeah.
like 25
Yeah.
minutes.
And I'm
each
sure you'll
episode.
see the clips on TikTok as
Yeah,
well, because
you can
that's
binge
where I
it all
saw it
pretty
Which is the
fast.
weirdest thing because it's like the producers are like, here it is all over TikTok, but it's actually the platform that it's on is Amazon Freevee. They
Yeah.
feel like people are just watching it on TikTok.
But I
It's
did
nuts.
see a bunch of people be like, where can I watch this? Where can I watch
Yeah.
this? And they're
Yeah.
sending them to the right place.
It's
Okay, great.
It's a good way to do it because the TikToks are so short and you see the clip and you're like, what is
Yeah.
that from? Our producer watches a ton of movies because he just sees like a 30-second clip on TikTok
Right.
and is like, now I got to watch that whole movie. So
That's kind of like it's replacing the trailer, isn't
Exactly.
it? The,
Yeah.
the TV or movie trailer.
Exactly.
Just
That
like
is
get a
true.
clip on TikTok and
Yep.
get some traction.
Yep.
All
That's
right.
all you got to do.
You got a whole swarm of new fans
Guess I'm gonna
coming
put
your
together
way.
a little audition video for the MCU and put that on
Yeah.
TikTok.
White Lotus. Put 'em
Slap
all
it on
in.
there.
If you
White
made-
Lotus.
I know you're probably not going to, but if you made a TikTok right now, it would explode because I'm telling you,
Yeah.
people are loving you on TikTok right now.
I saw you just
Don't know what to
mention
put
it.
on there.
I saw you just
Use
mention
it
a
on, you're like,
27
hey.
Dresses sequel. Also, you were talking to E! News and you said you would do a 27 Dresses sequel. So put that on
Right.
TikTok too.
There we go. Okay, anything I want right now.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
go
Put
on
it
there and say,
TikTok.
"Hey guys, it's James Marsden." And you're
See,
they're
I'm
gonna
so
follow.
old. It's like I don't even know how to
That's
go
like
on
the
there.
yeah. That's like you
Where
go
is
ask the
it?
genie.
I'm like swiping through, like licking my finger like it's a book.
Oh man. Well,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That
Thank
was
you
fun.
so much.
Thank you.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office, Tampa, Minneapolis. Make sure you buy those tickets. They're on sale at noon on Friday. Make sure you get those. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you on Monday.